Good day to you all snow lovers. This is Ethan from the Sawtooth Avalanche Center with your weekend update for January 5th, 2024. As a reminder, this does not replace the daily avalanche forecast. To check that out each morning, visit us at sawtoothavalanche.com. Ben will have those posted for you Saturday and Sunday. So let's dive in. This last week, we had moderate danger across all of our forecast zones, and we published our first avalanche forecast for the Soldier and Wood River Valley zones for the first time this season today, which is Friday. We were at moderate, moderate, low in all of those zones. So moderate at upper, moderate at middle, and low at lower elevations. And we are at that danger rating because we have a persistent slab problem that is still possible to trigger and can cause a very destructive avalanche. You're most likely to trigger those avalanches at upper elevations on all aspects and middle elevations, west through north through east. This will continue to be a problem as we head into the weekend. For a look at what that looks like on the ground, the snowpack structure that we're most concerned with is as Brooke describes here.
Big, meaty slab over these weak, sugary Idaho facets.
Sugary Idaho facets. Yes, indeed. So that was north of Smiley Creek. And really, we've been mainly concerned where we're finding that stiff slab that still sits over those facets. And that's what that problem looks like, or that's what the snowpack structure looks like, rather, when you dig down into the snow pit. And this is what it looks like when it causes an avalanche. So this last Wednesday, Ben, Brooke, and I went to the South Fork of Soldier Creek, which is just north of the ski area there, and we toured out toward Smoky Dome. And this large avalanche was on North Smoky Dome. It released at about 9,800 feet. It looked to have started as a wind slab, potentially around the solstice wind event that we had there, with some serious loading along the top of that ridge line, and broke as a wind slab, and then likely stepped down to a much deeper avalanche that involved those sugary Idaho facets kind of hanging out over that rock band there. This slide was several feet thick, well over 500 feet wide, and up to even 800 feet wide if that crown connects across the top, although it was hard to tell from our vantage point. So persistent slab problems are kind of what's keeping us there. Got moderate over the course of the week. Here's another snow pit that shows those weak facets just appear gray, loose, and crumbly when you're on shaded aspects. When you're on sunnier aspects, it's kind of a mix of crusts and facets that are a little harder to identify. I take a look at the weather over the past week. This is at Galena Summit. You can see the temperature has decreased over the course of the week, with high temperatures in the 30s on Monday and high temperatures steadily decreasing, and it's been pretty chilly over the last couple days. We've had a couple wind events, one on the 2nd that had a bunch of wind coming in here from the southeast, where wind speeds were moderate, although it's been mostly calm throughout the week. We had two small storm systems that came through. One was Wednesday night into Thursday, and another was Thursday night into this morning. But both of those storms really only totaled about maybe a skiff of snow in some areas to 3 or 4 inches in favored areas. So it's been a pretty benign weather week so far. Very little wind and very little snow. But between those little storms, we did get to enjoy some really nice views. This is a picture that Scott took yesterday from Fox Peak, and that's looking back down toward Baldy to the south. You can see the snow cover there is still quite thin, but there's enough there to become a future week layer as we head into snowier parts of this weekend and into next week. This graphic here shows a little bit of an analysis, a modeled analysis, mind you. So it is imperfect, of snow depths across the region. You can see the deeper purple colors are around 3 to 4 feet thick snowpacks, and those lighter blue colors are 6 to 8 inches down around the Wood River Valley and Baldy there. Soldier Mountain over in the western portion of that zone has a couple feet of snow hanging out in a lot of places. And if you're wondering, or if you're feeling like this is woe is me in Idaho problem. This thin snowpack so far this year. I'm here to tell you that when you take a look at the western United States, uh, it's actually dry just about everywhere. Those red dots are less than 50% of what we are expecting for total water amounts for this time of year. So you can see there's a lot of snowpacks that are less than 50% of normal. In our neck of the woods in central Idaho, south central Idaho here, we have anywhere from 50 to 70% of normal. But if you're looking for a powder day, which I know a couple of you that I've spoken with in the last day are headed to the southeastern portion of the state, they're one of the few places in the western United States that's near or even slightly above average at this point. So it is a very dry start to the winter so far for most of the western United States. But I'm here to tell you some good news that's about to change. The weather for tonight is we'll see some increasing clouds, and then we have some snow Saturday into Saturday night and lasting into Sunday morning. So I've got Banner, Galena, and Baldy there just as 3 points to kind of focus on. And between tonight or more like tomorrow morning when the snow starts, maybe 10 or 11 in the morning, we'll get 1 to 3 inches during the day tomorrow by 5 p.m., 1 to 3 inches uh, tomorrow night, so Saturday night, and then kind of a trace to 1 inch going into Sunday morning. So that should total a nice little refresh for us over the weekend of 2 to 7 inches around Banner, 4 to 6 around Galena, and 4 to 8 around Baldy. Another way to look at that is to look for the yellow here. You focus on the yellow blob over here. This is the Pioneers and up into the Boulders, and then Galena Pass right here, the Western Smokies, and on up through the Sawtooths. And you can see that those yellow blobs are anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, and this is storm totals through the weekend, through the end of the day Sunday. So we should have some snow on the way, which is great. The next thing we need to focus on is what is that snow falling on? This is a video I took from Owl Creek on a shaded middle elevation slope, and you can just hear the faceted snow and see the surface ore crystals when I pick that up right there. We've got a lot of weak snow surfaces out there. Here's another video that Ben took from that field day when we were up in the Soldiers.
We're hanging out here in the Soldier Mountains. We just kind of drove past the ski area and we're skinning up the South Fork of Soldier Creek here. And we're finding lots and lots of weak snow. When you're driving around Wood River Valley and you're looking at this zone, there's really not a lot of snow on the south faces. But when you get into these ranges where it's a little bit tighter and we have these other aspects, there's actually quite a bit of snow hanging out. Right now, weak snow like this, these impressive surface ore crystals on this crust with chained facets underneath, it's not a problem, it's on the surface. But we're looking at a period of storminess coming up. We're gonna be starting to stack snow on top of this. And anywhere we've got this old snow surface that we've formed over the last couple weeks, that's very weak, and we've built the slab on top of it, we're gonna be watching out for avalanches.
So if we've got weak snow surfaces, as Ben pointed out, and that video illustrated as I was walking through those facets and surface ore near Owl Creek, we add wind and snow to that equation, we're going to have surface instabilities. We're going to have new storm snow problems. And those will likely be small to start as thin wind slabs, but they're likely to be very, very touchy. We just have a ton of weak snow at the surface, and it's not likely to want to bond well to the slabs that will be forming when we have stormier weather over the weekend. So takeaways: the fresh slabs will be touchy. They may release naturally and break wider than expected. These fresh wind slabs may also break into deeper weak layers near the base of the snowpack, similar to that avalanche that we saw in the Soldiers. And storms this weekend are really going to be a preview of what's to come. We have some prolonged stormier weather that looks to actually be materializing coming up through the rest of next week. And to just throw out some crazy predictions, I won't say that this is going to be correct, but I also won't say that it will be incorrect. So I'll let you decide what you want to believe here. But these deep red colors are anywhere around 3 feet of snow. So this is the Sawtooth coming up along this line here. So we're expecting potentially up to 3 feet of snow by the end of next week. The Western Smokies, Galena Pass here, and even down in Haley, 10 to 15 inches, potentially by the end of Friday next week. So there is storm snow on the way. Things are going to be changing drastically. So please check the avalanche forecast each morning before you head into the mountains. And we'll tell you guys, give you a little bit of information on what to look for, what to look out for, and what we've been seeing out there. So please share what you see. If you head out there, if you see any avalanches, shoot us an email, submit an observation on the website. Want to thank you guys very much. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the hills.